DuChene. Calling Don DuChene.
Yes.
Fearless polar bear wrestler Don DuChene.
All right.
Part-time brain surgeon Don DuChene.
Well, why not? Yes to both of those attributes, although today we're moving Friday on the Don Fleepleized DuChene program, March dozen. I think today is a good one to bring out this news that I'm known in the sports world as a long-distance Olympic gold medal inner tube inflator, really.
Long-distance inner tube floating champion Don DuChene.
Oh?
Calling Don DuChene.
Alrighty, you're on the right track, sweetie. It's 10:01 and a half Fleeple cash coming your way time. Stand by to get in there for cash.
KDWB, Channel 63.
Alrighty, 13, a lucky degree number.
More free to more people. That's Fleeple.
You win as many times as you want. Just call the telephone number given and tell KDWB how much you win. Here's how you know.
This is the sound of $1. This is the sound of a $50. This is the sound of a quarter. This is the sound of a dime. This is the sound of a nickel. This is the sound of a penny.
Remember those sounds. When you hear them, add them up.
Win the amount you add up and win as many times as you want.
Now, stand by to be a Fleeple winner on KDWB.
Right, partner, that's the official word. Game one in a moment. The boy from the place with all the tall buildings right in here. The subways, the Statue of Liberty, Greenwich Village. Shine its ever-loving light on me. Johnny Rivers, KDWB on with all the giant hits. Tonight it's Fab 40 night in the Lou Reed program, 6 to 9, as Lou checks them out for you. 40 up through 1, the brand new survey. Win Fleeple money, the Don DuChene program, a game and a sporting moment.
KDWB Sports Scoreboard.
Two games are on tap tonight in the National Basketball Association. The Eastern Division champion Boston Celtics will be out to break their own one-season winning record when they go after their 61st victory against the Royals at Cincinnati, and L.A. plays at San Francisco. Last night in the NBA, Boston topped Detroit 112-100. L.A. down Baltimore 121-116 in overtime, and St. Louis beat San Francisco 101-99. The National Hockey League revealed plans yesterday to increase its present six-team operation. NHL President Clarence Campbell said he would accept applications for franchises from what he termed major league cities in the United States and Canada that would eventually lead to the creation of a second six-team division. Campbell did not mention any time element in regard to the start of the new division. The only hockey action tonight is in the American League, where Providence plays at Baltimore. There were no games in either the National or American Leagues last night.
You know, comparison shopping can really pay off. Take Nuco margarine. Compare it with the highest priced brands, and here's what you find.
Penny for penny, pound for pound, you get more good from Nuco than any other margarine around.
Compare for yourself. You'll find Nuco gives you more polyunsaturates per penny than any other leading margarine. You'll find Nuco gives you more freshness, too. Actually seals freshness in an exclusive way so that it really lasts. But most important, you'll find Nuco gives you more delicious flavor. That's right. Nuco margarine tastes great. Always delicious and fresh tasting. Try a big pat on toasted muffins. That'll convince you fast. Yes, for table use, for cooking too, Nuco gives you all the benefits of the highest priced margarines, yet Nuco's sensibly priced. Saves you about 10 cents a pound. So give Nuco a try. Find out for yourself that you do get more good from delicious Nuco margarine.
On KDWB, the score comes sooner.
Halt in the name of the law, or stop in the name of love, Supreme's great hit on KDWB. Grab yourself a Fleeple cash win on KDWB. The DuChene program Money Treasury is again bursting at the seams, and I give you many and many an opportunity to win as we go from hour to hour. Stand by. On KDWB, get in there for cash. All righty? All righty.
Minneapolis, Hugh L. Dryden, Deputy Director of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, spoke in Minneapolis last night. The 67-year-old Dryden said it is possible the U.S. may land a man on the moon by 1970, even though budget cuts have made it impossible to schedule the 15 preliminary shots planned through 1969. He also told the dinner, sponsored by the Twin Cities section of the American Institute of Aeronautics, that he expects little trouble from Congress on passage of the $5.26 billion NASA budget this year. St. Paul, a Minnesota Employment Security Department report says Twin Cities area employers will need some 95,000 100,000 new workers by 1968. The report said about half would be new jobs, while the rest would be replacement workers for those who retire or die.
Here's exciting news. It's first showing of the new model homes in Apple Valley. Model homes designed and decorated by architect Newton Griffith. These new medium-priced model homes in Apple Valley have features usually found only in custom-built homes costing 2 or 3 times more. The homes have up to 5 bedrooms with floor-to-ceiling wardrobe closets, exciting center hall arrangement, rear-facing living rooms, glass sliding doors, casement windows, imported lighting fixtures, and pebblestone patios. The Apple Valley model homes have up to 3 glamorous baths with exclusive marble-top vanities. You have to see them to know how beautiful a home can be. 18 different models priced only $15,800 to $24,000. To see these new model homes from Minneapolis, drive south on Cedar Avenue or 35W across the Minnesota River and follow the signs to Apple Valley. Apple Valley is a planned community designed by Orrin Thompson, most experienced and respected builder in the upper Midwest.
Mr. Weatherman, the weather and the temperature, what's it gonna KDWB?
Occasional cloudiness with no important temperature change through tomorrow. Chance of brief light snow this afternoon or early tonight. Light southerly winds today, becoming light northerly tonight. High today 30, low tonight 10. High tomorrow 32, low tomorrow night 10. Humidity now 96%. Winds are from the southeast at 7. And the current Twin City temperature 13, that's 13 degrees. On KDWB St. Paul, that's Twin Cities today.
Trailer for sale or rent.
They always eat better when you remember the soup.
Tell you what, reach for the Campbells. It's right on your shelf.
14 former Nazi nurses are acquitted. I'll have details on this and other top news stories in 6 minutes. Stan Turner, KDWB News.
Here to the speaker, please. All righty, right up there. Okay, now listen closely for the Fleeple Amount sound. Win that Fleeple DuChene program loot by calling carefully at this number, 774-9709. Second caller in has the dough.
Robert Hall.
At 10:54, it's 13 degrees.
The big news comes first on KDWB.
This is Stan Turner. Minneapolis, a fire has just been reported in the Mill City. KDWB newsman Jack Douglas is at the scene.
Minneapolis firemen are currently battling a blaze at the Southside Salvage Yard at 3rd Street and 15th Avenue South in Minneapolis, right at the edge of the Minneapolis Loop. The fire was believed to have been caused by an overheated heater. There are no injuries reported. The blaze is currently going right through the roof, and the firemen are having a tough time with all the things stored in the top floor of the 2-story building. However, there is no estimate of damage as yet. Once again, no injuries reported. Jack Douglas, KDWB News, as it happens.
Pittsburgh, the United Steelworkers and Steel Management negotiators report good progress in talks aimed at drafting a new contract. A union official says progress so far has led to an agreement to begin bargaining early next week on money matters linked to a new pact. Selma, Alabama Mayor Joe Smitherman of Selma has denied that a compromise was reached which would have permitted civil rights leaders to make small marches to the county courthouse. An earlier announcement by a civil rights leader said authorities would permit the marches as part of a prayer vigil for Reverend James Reeb of Boston. Reeb died last night from injuries suffered in an attack Tuesday. Montgomery, Alabama, a federal judge in Montgomery hears more evidence today on an attempt to prevent Governor George Wallace from blocking a freedom march from Selma to the state capitol. There are indications the hearing will stretch into next week. Boston, some 40 college students staged a sit-in at a Justice Department office in Boston this morning, vowing to remain until President Johnson sends more troops into Alabama. Washington and Doug Thomas.
Methodist Bishop John Wesley Lord, who marched with Dr. King at Selma, called on President Johnson to go to Selma and lead the nation in the moral crisis confronting Americans. Bishop Lord called on the interracial, interdenominational group in Washington to continue their fight to help Negroes get voting rights in Alabama. Thousands gathered at the church inside and out. They came from 3 surrounding states and the District of Columbia for memorial services for the Reverend James Reeb, mortally beaten by white men in Selma. Bishop Lord, along with representatives of the National Council of Churches and civil rights groups, then went to the White House to meet with President Johnson. This is Doug Thomas at the Church of Reformation, Washington.
Moscow, the Soviet Union, has placed a new unmanned Cosmos satellite into Earth orbit. The TASS news agency announced marked the 7th such launch report this year. Moscow observers said it appeared to indicate a possible Soviet space spectacular in the near future. Munich, Germany. A West German war crimes court in Munich acquitted 14 nurses accused of slaying hundreds of babies during Hitler's Nazi regime. The judges said the 14, dubbed the Sisters of Death, were found innocent because of lack of evidence. London, actress Elizabeth Taylor is flying to Los Angeles to be with her seriously ill father. Miss Taylor left Ireland, where her husband, actor Richard Burton, is making a film, to be with her father, who suffered a stroke. Houston, doctors at a Houston hospital began tests today to determine if they can separate Siamese twin girls born 10 days ago in Puerto Rico. Tokyo, communist North Vietnam, has charged that U.S. and South Vietnamese planes bombed its territory yesterday. The charge came in a Hanoi broadcast monitored in Tokyo. New York City, the first brothers ever to appear on the FBI's 10 most wanted criminals list are scheduled for arraignment in New York City today. The two men, Samuel and Earl Veeney, were picked up in connection with the Christmas Day slaying of a Baltimore policeman and the shooting of another police officer. The shootings occurred during the $2,400 holdup of a liquor store.
Tuesday mornings are completely different from Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. As the news goes, so go mornings on KDWB.
From the KDWB Weather Bureau direct line, mostly cloudy tonight and Saturday with chance of a trace of snow. No important temperature change, but warmer tonight. Light variable winds now, high this afternoon and Saturday near 32. Low tonight and Saturday night, 18. Humidity now, 96%. Winds from the southeast at 7, and the current Twin City temperature as the Don DuChene program continues, 1-3, that's 13 degrees. For KDWB News, this is Stan Turner.
That's the big news on the big news station, KDWB St. Paul, the servant to the great North Country.
Right.
Giant, giant, giant.
Two in front of the hour. Music already on KDWB.
Little things that you do.
Alrighty, that's Little Things, and that's Bobby Goldsboro, Bobby Boy, Mr. and Mrs. Goldsboro's boy, Igor, Robert. Hour 2, the Friday DuChene Extravaganza. It's 11 o'clock. Win Fleeple money time like last hour. Many, many winners. Scott Bratke a couple of times. Greg Kappen of Bailey Road in Newport. And Mrs. Bob Klein, Vicki Stevens, Joe Sorensen, Seal Van Lubin. All kinds of winners. Let's get you on this hour for that Fleeple cash. And listen, drive carefully because the life you save may be a KDWB listener who wants to win some Fleeple money. And, you know, hey, tough guy, what do you say you get in here? Square chin. Longtime front runner on KDWB, and that's Gary Lewis. The number one song pretty much around the country, and right here in KDWB country, This Diamond Ring. Congratulations to Arlene Mackey, Clinton Avenue, Minneapolis, a Fleeple winner, a Fleeple contest, and a Stan Turner Sports Moment. Stand by.
KDWB Sports Scoreboard.
The NCAA College Division Basketball Championship will be decided tonight at Evansville, Indiana, when defending champion Evansville takes on Southern Illinois. The two teams met twice during the regular season, with Evansville coming out on top by 1 point each time. In last night's semifinal action, Evansville dumped St. Michael's of Vermont 93-70, while Southern Illinois rolled over North Dakota 97-64. The NAIA basketball tourney at KC moves into the semifinal round tonight. Last night, top-seeded and undefeated Central State of Ohio down Augsburg of Minnesota 66-57. Oklahoma Baptist beat Winston-Salem 71-62. Fairmont State of West Virginia whipped St. Benedict's 103-87. And Wichita Baptist edged Southern University of Louisiana 65-64. In tonight's games, Wichita Baptist plays Oklahoma Baptist, and Central State meets Fairmont State.
Mom, here's one surefire way to make light meals and snacks look and taste positively palate-pleasing. Serve Red Dot potato chips. Yes, Red Dot potato chips make any light dish delish. That's why it's a good idea to buy and keep plenty of Red Dot potato chips on hand always, like Red Dot's popular Twin Pack. With Red Dot's Twin Pack, you get 2 bags of your favorite potato chips instead of 1. They'll stay fresh longer simply because you can open and use 1 pack at a time. They're sealed hot, too, so the crackle's sealed in. Whatever the meal, it makes good sense to serve Red Dot potato chips from the handy Twin Pack. With soups, beverages, cheese, dips, and sandwiches, Red Dot Potato Chips Twin Pack gives you twice the freshness, twice the goodness. When you shop, look for Red Dot, another flavor favorite from Frito-Lay, the only chips with a party in every pack.
On KDWB, the score comes sooner.
Elvis on the 40 at 37 this a week for KDWB Country Popularity. Do the Clam. And Elvis, as I understand it, coming out with a brand new song. It's called the Do the Yogi. It's a dance where you put your feet into your pockets.
Midway Chevrolet busts its quota.
Ooh, that must hurt.
Now Midway Chevrolet can pass on even greater savings to you.
With Sheila Clark, Instant Discovery, I Know a Place. Jerry the Pacemaker is set on the DuChene program and a Stan Turner News Moment. Family home for lunch at 11:27. Well, warm them up with good hot Campbell's tomato soup. It's nourishing and so delicious. Reach for the Campbell's right on your shelf.
The North Country reports the big news to KDWB. These are the top news stories in the Twin Cities today.
Minneapolis Labor Secretary Willard Wirtz addressing 2,200 diners at the DFL's fundraising Jefferson Jackson Day dinner last night in Minneapolis took some humorous shots at national political figures from Minnesota. Wirtz said when former Senator Hubert Humphrey became vice president, in his words, the Minneapolis Bruins hockey team lost 4 straight. The Lake Harriet ice skating races had to be postponed twice because of bad weather, and the winter fish kill was reported to be the worst in 9 years. Madison, Wisconsin, it's been reported that the Midwest Universities Research Association has President Johnson's assurance it may bid to build and operate the proposed new atom smasher. Wisconsin Representative Vernon Thompson said he discussed the matter with Johnson earlier this week after the Atomic Energy Commission announced its intention to build a 200 billion electrovolt device. Twin Cities weather next.
Drink Cloverleaf, Cloverleaf, Cloverleaf milk. It's the cream of the crop. In the words of our cow, who speaks to you now?
Cloverleaf milk makes one proud to be a cow.
Drink Cloverleaf milk.
Cloverleaf milk, award of the Consumers Council seal of acceptance.
Mr. Weatherman, the weather and the temperature, what's it gonna KDWB?
Increasing cloudiness this afternoon, mostly cloudy tonight and tomorrow with a chance of a trace of snow. No important temperature change, but warmer tonight. Light variable winds now, high this afternoon and tomorrow near 32, low tonight and tomorrow night 18. Currently, humidity stands at 96%. Winds are from the south at 5 and the current Twin City temperature 1/6, that's 16 degrees. On KDWB St. Paul, that's Twin Cities today.
The strength of our early settlers is a proud heritage that makes Minnesota a great place to live. And proud to serve this land, this is the giant of the North Country, KDWB.
The giant!
Uppermost, I'll tell you that right now. 16 KDWB degrees. Congratulations to winners on Fleeple. Barge DeVolk, Arlene Mackey, Scott Brecky, Seal Van Leuven, Joe Sorensen, Vicky Stevens, Mrs. Bob Klein, Greg Kaplan. Alrighty, we have a game coming up in a moment. Let me at this time go to the DuChene Program Home Contest and award you a pair of passes to the Builders Show, starting today, starring Liberace on stage. And they are great. The Fat Beatles and I'll Follow the Sun right there on KDWB. Meet KDWB from the stage of the Beatles Show at Met Stadium Saturday night, August 21st. Yes, we'll be there and you'll be there. And the tickets, of course, all that information. No tickets available at this time. The tickets will not be available until after May 1st, on and around about that date. And we'll have the info here is where you hear it first on KDWB. 16, Channel 6, 3 degrees. And Fleeple winner, Mrs. Kirsch, 1831 Carroll, St. Paul. Congratulations.
1, 2... And here's
What
another.
are you doing?
Oh, Gladys, I'm ripping the most exciting labels off Musselman's applesauce.
You're what?
Ripping labels off Musselman's applesauce. Why, Musselman labels have the most delicious recipe.
Okay, Dean Martin on KDWB, home of the hits, the Don DuChene program. Send me that pillow that you dream on. Actually, see, this guy, he's got a lot of girlfriends, and what he does, he gets a pillow from all his girlfriends, then he sets up a display of them and sells them, and then makes a lot of money on these pillows.
They're free. Stick them to your books.
Free? What free? What books?
They're free. Wear them on sweaters or shirts.
Free? Wear them on shirts? Sweater? What?
They're free. Display them and tell the world.
Free. Display what? And tell the world why.
KDWB,
The station that turns you on.
Tell the world that KDWB is the station that turns you on. Pick up your free KDWB turn-on stickers at Fitwell Men's Stores, 428 Hennepin, Minneapolis. Also at Knollwood Plaza and Crystal Shopping Center. In St. Paul at Nate's Men's Shop, corner of 9th and Wabasha. They're free. The stickers that say...
KDWB, the station that turns you on.
Right, let me turn on a Fleeple game. What's your accurate count? Call to win 774-9700. All right.
You know she was standing all alone, all by... Yeah, baby, I'm talking about my baby. I don't mean maybe, my candlelight.
Want to wrap it up, fellas? One more one? All right.
You know she was standing all alone.
Candlelight and gestures on the Don DuChene program. Sound after the news by the Beatles.
At 11:54 at 16 degrees.
The big news comes first on KDWB.
This is Stan Turner. Minneapolis, 2 men were beaten and robbed of $165 in downtown Minneapolis early today. Police identified the victims as 24-year-old Robert M. Schmelzer of 1600 Hampshire Avenue South, St. Louis Park, and 33-year-old Eugene F. Fisk of 3652 Nicollet Avenue. They and another man left Addison's Bar about 1 a.m., and another car followed them and forced them to the curb along East 19th Street between 16th Avenue South and Bloomington Avenue. A man carrying a knife with an 8-inch blade got out of the car and asked for their money and took the $165 from them. He reportedly ran his knife blade across Schmelzer's throat and threatened to kill him before leaving. St. Paul, the Senate Education Committee today took no action on a bill providing school transportation to all students after another hour of debate on the proposal. The action all but killed any chance for the bill at this session. That's the 4th time it's been before the legislature. Selma, Alabama, reported compromise that would have permitted racial demonstrators to march in small groups at Selma has been denied. Mayor Joe Smitherman went to the radio to announce integrationists would not be permitted to hold a prayer vigil for Reverend James Reeb of Boston. He died last night as a result of a clubbing on Tuesday. 4 men charged with the murder were released on bail. Meanwhile, in Birmingham, the body of Reverend Reeb was cremated, and the ashes flow into his hometown of Casper, Wyoming for burial. KDWB line, Jerusalem and Lee Goodman.
During the past few weeks, the Syrians have been shooting almost every day at Israeli tractors working along the border area. Patience here is beginning to wear thin. All appeals to the UN to stop the shooting have been futile. I asked Prime Minister Levi Eshkol how he reacted to the incident.
If the United Nations Security Council will not be able to prevent it, we will rely on our strength.
This is Lee Goodman reporting from Jerusalem.
Saigon, the communist North Vietnamese have claimed U.S. and South Vietnamese planes bombed North Vietnam again yesterday. The Reds said the plane struck just north of the 17th parallel. There was no confirmation of the strike from American sources, although air attacks against undisclosed targets were reported yesterday. The North Vietnamese claim today followed one in which Hanoi said it captured a U.S. jet pilot shot down March the 2nd. Bonn, the West German government has reportedly rejected 2 Israeli conditions linked to setting up diplomatic relations between the 2 nations. The conditions: resumption of arms shipments to Israel and a security pact calling for West German aid to Israel if its borders are threatened. London, bachelor John Catchpole has cut his 350-pound weight down to a trim, for him, 244 pounds. The hefty Londoner was able to accomplish the feat at the taxpayer's expense under Britain's National Health Service program. Catchpole has been in the hospital almost 4 weeks and expects to remain another month. The taxpayer is footing the $140 per week tab. Manila, about 150 Filipino students protesting U.S. policy in South Vietnam staged an anti-American demonstration in front of the U.S. Embassy in Manila today. The demonstrators carried placards reading, "Leave Vietnam alone and don't escalate war." Moscow, Russia has rejected a Red Chinese demand that the Soviets drop their peaceful coexistence policies toward the West. The Soviet Communist Party newspaper Pravda indicated this in replying to a Peking statement made earlier this month. The Communist Chinese had accused the Soviets of refusing to oppose imperialism, not permitting others to oppose it, and ganging up with imperialism to put down the revolutionary movement. Pittsburgh, the United Steelworkers bargaining team is making good progress with contract negotiators for the nation's Big 11 steel producers. A top steelworkers official told United Press International gains thus far had led to an agreement by both sides to begin bargaining on economic matters next week. The current steelworkers contract expires April the 30th. Washington religious leaders met with President Johnson this morning and demanded federal force be used to protect Negroes fighting for voting rights in Alabama. Methodist Bishop John Wesley of Washington, who took part in the Selma, Alabama Civil Rights March on Tuesday, suggested Mr. Johnson visit the scene personally to see what is happening. Another church leader said the Selma situation has aroused the public more than in any event since the assassination of President Kennedy. Also in Washington, a second round of negotiations between Attorney General Nicholas Katzenbach and Senate leaders to discuss voting rights legislation is scheduled for this afternoon. It was postponed from this morning pending further study of technical points by legal staffs.
Wednesday mornings are completely different from Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. As the news goes, so go mornings on KDWB.
From the KDWB Weather Bureau direct line, increasing cloudiness this afternoon, mostly cloudy tonight and tomorrow with a chance of a trace of snow. No important temperature change, but warmer tonight, light variable winds. High this afternoon and tomorrow near 32, low tonight and tomorrow night 18. Humidity now 96%, winds are from the south at 5, and the current Twin City temperature 16, that's 16 degrees. For KDWB News, this is Stan Turner.
That's the big news on the big news station, KDWB St. Paul, the servant to the great North Country.
Giant, giant, giant.
Minute and a half up to the hour. Music already on KDW. Beatles.